And there the numbers are rolling. 'Tis another day here in beautiful Shelbina, Missouri. Good morning, good morning. This is August 23rd, hence the 23rd proverb. Now then, food for thought. Proverbs chapter 23, verses 1 through 3. When thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee, and put a knife to thy throat if thou be a man given to appetite. Be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meat. Now then, many times, many people will sit down with a ruler to eat. This is proverbially, of course. And whether they sit down with that ruler through television, through news, through media, through what these rulers allegedly say, words, we know the Lord God gives us wonderful words of life through His Word. Words. Words have also been described as meat, as food. We know that His words of life feed the soul, feed the spirit, feed the soul. And I remember references, being made, people saying things like, years ago, yes, and they were just telling them all these things, and that person just ate it up. They just ate it up. They're feeding them a line of stuff, and they just eat it right up. Well, they're speaking of words, of course, what one person was saying to another, and the other one wanted to hear it anyway, or maybe it was complimentary, and boy, that person just ate it right up. So speaking proverbially, figuratively, eating up their words. People sit down, and I have the scriptures over here, with a ruler, whether it be over the television, the news, the radio, newspapers, what have you, and they will just take what those rulers allegedly say, such as presidents, congressmen, senators, etc., and they'll just eat those up, eat those words up, and even if it isn't something necessarily that they want to hear, they take it for truth. They take it for gospel truth, even though all the evidence around shows that what they're saying is just garbage. They're feeding you fish heads, feeding you fish heads, as I've heard said before. So, when thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee. Now then, what is before thee in that situation? Well, you are dealing with someone who, number one, is trying to gain popularity maybe, or what have you, so they're going to tell you what you want to hear. And people just eat it up. They give them promises of prosperity and such, and that's what people want. But these are deceitful meat. They're dainties. They're going to hang those things out in front of you, such as, well, with Mr. Trump for one, he was going to build the wall. And, then when they tell you that our economy is getting better, there's more jobs, even though if you have any sense at all, you can look right in front of your face and see what actually is. Consider diligently what is before thee. Number one, you have a deceiver, a shyster, sitting there in front of you that's telling you what you want to hear. So consider it diligently. These people, they don't have the actual power to rule as it is. They have a boss. They have a boss. His name is Arturo Sosa. And they're going to do just exactly what he says. For years and years, ever since I can remember, it's easy. Politicians saying things, making promises that they can't keep. But they make those promises to get elected into office, which actually is selected. Elections are bunk. Um, but they make promises, they say things to appease the people. They can't do any more than their boss, Sosa, allows them to do, and just exactly what he does. But they will hang those things out there in front of people, like the carrot in front of the horse, you know, to keep the horse moving on towards that carrot hanging off a stick in front of its nose that it's never going to get. In a cart situation, people would have a long stick with a carrot on the end of it, and they would hang it out there in front of the horse or the mule to get that animal to follow that carrot, going after something that they are never ever going to get. It's deceitful. So, as is with these dainties that the rulers, as it were, hang out there in front of us, we the people, they are deceitful meat. And then, even once they might get into this deceitful meat that they hang out there in front of the people to entice the people, it never is what they say that it is, and it never comes out like they say that it will. Um, Consider diligently what is before thee. People pretending that they have some sort of authority that they do not have in order to carry on this illusion of freedom and democracy that we have. The illusion of. Now then, as far as put a knife to thy throat if thou be a man given to appetite, I'm not sure, but don't listen to everything that you hear. Don't believe anything. Don't just eat those words up. Don't be given to that appetite of believing the lies that are hung out in front of you. Consider diligently what is before thee. Be not desirous of his dainties. Don't sit on their words. Don't sit on their every word and just believe what they say. What's in front of your eyes? I remember during Mr. Obama's reign, per one, it was pointed out. This was pointed out. Okay. Well, unemployment was going down. He was doing a good job because unemployment was going down. The numbers, the statistics. And the thing with that was that after a person goes without a job for so long and they're no longer collecting unemployment, there's a point in time when they just drop off of the radar. They are no longer counted as unemployed. And that's why the unemployment numbers were going down. Not that people were getting jobs, they were just falling off of the count, So, when thou sittest down with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee. And that was being said, it was being told, because that's the way that those numbers and figures work. So statistically, that was deceitful meat. It wasn't true. It wasn't that there were more jobs provided or that there was more people out there actually getting jobs and working. It was that they were no longer being counted as unemployed. Deceitful meat. Makes sense? So, just kind of come to me when I was reading this, starting out the day, that this could be applicable to that sort of thing. And as it is, rulers, well, you wouldn't think of a president or a senator or a congressperson because women have men's jobs. One of the reasons why there's not enough jobs to go around is because women that ought to be at home and could be at home, being chaste, discreet, keepers at home, obedient to their own husbands, they're not. Everybody's just ate up, as it were, with the lust of covetousness and what they think they need that isn't necessary at all. And especially if you don't have the money for it, it's not necessary. Don't. But, what would I know? So when thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee. This table full of fine food, of empty promises that they have laid out there. Consider, look, think, consider. And put a knife to thy throat if thou be a man given to appetite. Don't be eating up their words and what they say. Be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meat. Deceitful meat. That's been known for decades. But people want to believe in something so badly that they don't always get it. They want a hope that really isn't there. So you get one that makes false promises. You get another that makes false promises and puts on big theatrics in a shoe, in a vain, fake shoe. Deceitful meat. Think it's pretty simple, but that was just kind of what came to mind when I read these first 3 verses here this morning. First 3 verses, so I thought that I would do a short video on that, just commentary, I suppose. So have a wonderful day, whatever that day holds, whatever wonder it is. Bye for now.